Welcome to another DK Custom Products video. My name is Kevin. This is Dwayne.
This is our first video of 2022.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, and this video, we're gonna talk about one of our products we've had from the beginning, but we've yet to make a sit-down video about it. That's what we're gonna talk about today, Beefy Struts.
So this is a little things that make a difference video.
Right, but before we start talking about these, we'd appreciate it if you guys would like, comment, and subscribe because it would really help us out. Now, Kevin, what are these?
These are Beefy Struts. I wanted to hardtail my Sportster back in 2009, 2010, and I didn't want to cut the frame like we've done on this Sportster where we actually put a hardtail on it. So I wanted to make my bike a rigid, hardtail it, but I wanted to go the inexpensive route, which was to use struts. And all the struts out there were like half the diameter of this.
Yeah, pencil thin.
And I'm going, man, I don't want to run that and be going down the road at 80, 90 miles an hour. So we came up with these and we called them Beefy Struts because all my other choices were, like you said, pencil thin struts.
So, the first thing you're probably asking yourself is those can't be comfortable. And they're not. They're purely an aesthetic upgrade. They give you the rigid feel and look of a hardtail frame, without the work of chopping and welding and doing all this and that. And if we're being honest with ourselves, factory suspension sucks anyway. Right. So if you want to get a good look, get it really low. And my favorite thing about these is you can get your bike really, really, really low. And you don't run the risk of bottoming the tire out into the fender because they don't compress. Right. You throw Burley slammers, for example, 10.5 inches long. Big problem with those, your tire bottoms out into the fender, and that's not safe.
So we made these up and tried them out, and they worked well. These were actually put on my bike back in 2009 or 2010. These are the actual ones that were put on there. We make them 10 and 1/8 inches long. We call them 10-inch, but they're 10 and 1/8 because that extra 1/8 is what gives the fender the clearance on the tire.
Right, and that's from the eye-to-eye measurement, just the same way you measure shocks.
And then we have 10.5 inch, and I think we had 11 inch for the longest time. But then people started asking, they wanted the look, but they didn't want it to sit as low. Yeah. So we now have 12 and 13 inch. So we have 5 different sizes of these. They're made here in the U.S. They're made right here in Mississippi. They're DOM steel, 1 inch diameter.
Powder coat finish.
Yep, 1/4 inch wall.
And of course, backed by DK's lifetime warranty, although I can guarantee you will never need it. These will outlast every single component on your bike.
Right, yeah, and it's a direct bolt-on. You take the bolts out of the shocks and bolt these in place of the shocks with the same bolts. Everything's the same.
As you can see from the pictures we've been having up on the screen, gives you a really low, sleek look.
Yeah. So for those people who want to stretch their bike out, if you combine it with the tank lift, a speedo reload, coil reload, slam the rear end with some struts, it gives the bike a very much more of a chopper look, especially if you put like some apes on it, or some riser extensions with your mini apes. So it's a little thing that makes a pretty big difference in how the bike looks. For those of you worried about, the ride quality, like Dwayne said, the stock suspension isn't that great. So you can go one way and get really good rear shocks. You can go another way and get this and get a spring seat that will actually give you a better ride than the factory seat with the factory shocks. This is a little thing that makes a big difference in how the bike looks. And if you do it right, you don't sacrifice any ride quality.
Exactly right. Get yours at the link in the description below. Y'all ride safe out there.